You must find ways to focus and verbalize and contour the things that you are living and thinking about in a way that makes you feel blessed, that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel worthy, that makes you feel expectant of more good things to come. And then they come and you go, wow. And then they come and you go, wow. And they come and you go, wow, I'm really good at this. Yeah.
Thank you. My work has to do with politics in a way. I am a French citizen in the UK. The country is very divided at the moment. And you've helped me find a point of stability in this politically turbulent time. So I wanted to really thank you for this. But I want to go beyond just be neutral.
But we got to stop here for just a minute. You're helping everyone, and it's really a good conversation. You just did a segment about this politically, what were your words?
Turbulent.
This politically turbulent times. And a lot of people would agree with you. It's not just where you are that's upended. There's a lot of it going around. But here's the thing. Doesn't matter why you feel this way, whether you made it up or whether you observed it. If it feels like turbulent times, you cannot receive anything that will help. When you've got turbulent in your belly, when it feels turbulent, when it feels out of control. And so maybe not the easiest thing to take a subject that's so big, that matters to you so much, that you've thought about so much, but we think under these conditions that we can accomplish something really meaningful together. So let's just take a moment to use this segment intending. So we're using this moment to plan for the political segments that are coming next. How's that? So in this moment, we are deliberately adjusting, and we're assuming ourselves as you. So when we say we mean you. We mean you in your physical form. We, I, we, me, I. We're going to use this moment in time to accomplish within me a feeling of well-being around this subject. The opposite of turbulent times. All right? So, hang in there. You're going to like this. We're writing Esther has a little book. She loves her book. I love variety. I enjoy variety of ideas. I appreciate different points of view. I acknowledge the value in every point of view. I love knowing that I chose to be in this body at this time because the variety of ideas adds to a fuller, more delicious whole. I like knowing that government or politics is not creating my reality. I like knowing that I am. And I like knowing that I'm allowing from all venues of life, including politics, based upon how I feel. So I like knowing that just because they're behaving that way doesn't mean that I have to accept that at face value, because they're behaving that way and they're behaving that way and they're behaving that way and they're behaving that way. And just like a buffet, I can choose from it what makes for the best meal for me right here and now. And I like stating unequivocally that I like more ideas, way more than less ideas. I like lots of contrast and diversity, way more than uniformity in just one thought. I love the palette that I get to choose from. I adore what's going on out there. I am fascinated with the way minds work. I'm fascinated with the way people play off one another. I'm fascinated with the society, with the sociology of this world. I'm fascinated by watching the law of attraction do what it does. It's fascinating to watch people and their different points of attraction and what they bring to themselves. I like knowing how to bring to myself what feels good. And that's the point of who I am that I wish to share. People vary in their sensitivity, but the law of attraction does not vary in sensitivity. The law of attraction understands the vibrational state you're in and the vibrational state that others are in, and always brings that which is a vibrational match together. So, is it a turnoff to some of them? Absolutely. We're going to put something very pointedly to you, because there are a lot of questions that you're sending in that pertain to this. They usually go something like this. I've decided that this person or that person is someone I want to call close to me, and they are not coming. They don't seem to want to come. Abraham, can you help me get them to want to come? It's the general consensus of a whole lot of things that you are sending to us. And our question back to you is, why would you want someone to come to you who doesn't want to come? And if they wanted to come, wouldn't they? Now, don't let that hurt your feelings. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's that there is a vibrational mismatch. Now, by vibrational mismatch, what do we mean? We mean one of two things. Either what you want and what's in your vortex is not a match to what they will bring when they come. Or, let's go after this again. So, you want something, you think it's that person, and they're not coming. What's going on? One of two things. You want something that they are not. Or you're so aware that something that you want isn't coming that even if they are a match, they can't get in. You have to figure out which it is. And since it is so difficult to figure out which it is, there's an easy way of getting more and more of what you want. Talk about what you want and why you want it. And here's the big one. Don't try to physically orchestrate the outcomes. Now, what that requires is trusting that you have a vibrational reality, trusting that you are more than this physical you, trusting that your emotions are letting you know what you really want by how they feel. It takes some trusting in the law of attraction, and some trusting in your own guidance system, and some trusting in your ability to sense your own guidance system. But really, mostly what it requires is getting it, that when you ask, it is given. You have to understand that you are that loved and that worthy, that when you ask for something, that it is given. We just want you to get the essence of what it is you're asking for. It's not this specific person. It's the way you believe you will feel with this person. It's not this specific university. It's the way you believe you will feel when you're in that university. In other words, when you want something, you usually are launching your rocket of desire of what you want from your awareness of what you do not want. So step one is ask, and it is always answered. We know this sounds redundant. You've heard it so many times. You can speak these words as clearly as we do. We just want you to understand them in a new way here today. When you ask, especially when you are asking from a place of not being a vibrational match to what you're asking for, you're launching rockets of desire. Say that again. Most of what you ask for, most of what you put into your vortex, most of what is in your vortex got there because of your sifting through life and knowing what you did not want. So step one is ask. Now, the point that we're making here is there's a difference between step one and step two and step three, and there's a difference in your responsibility between step one and step two and step three. Your responsibility is to live life and launch rockets of desire, and you can't stop doing that. So that's a responsibility that you're well up to. You're ready, willing, and able to do that. And you're launching those rockets of desire into your vortex, and your vortex is a magnificent compilation of things that you have asked for, and it is even more. Because the law of attraction has gathered the cooperative components to each of the things that you've asked for. And so the law of attraction has caused your vortex to be cooperative, the parts of your vortex to be cooperative one with another. So step one, you've done, you do it without even knowing that you're doing it. Step two is Your inner being stands there as a point of attraction. And the law of attraction gathers the cooperative components. And so everything that you're asking for is done in terms of its vibrational essence, which is the beginning of all things. When you first start out your day, well, anytime really, but mostly when you first start out your day, it's like you get to choose which disc you get on. In other words, it's all spinning and law of attraction's gathering it up from wherever you are. And if you had an argument with someone last night and you're repeating it in your mind this morning and you're defending, you're justifying, you know that you were right and you know that they are wrong and you're irritated that they are stubborn and you're all geared up really wanting to find a way to express to them with greater clarity what you know so that you can finally convince them of the rightness of what you are offering about, you get a pretty good vortex going there, and that's the vortex that you've chosen. And even though you've asked for all kinds of things up here, you don't have access to them. But you know what? You do have access to all kinds of things that feel like this. Haven't you noticed that when you're ornery, everybody within a 12-mile radius who is ornery jumps on your disc with you? In fact, people who have never been ornery before become ornery just for you. If they even have slight ornery tendencies, you're going to rendezvous with them, you see. You are vibrationally choosing your points of attraction. And law of attraction is matching you up with experiences and people and thoughts and images that are in the same vibrational frequency. And in the same way, you cannot set your radio dial on 101 FM and listen to what's being broadcast on 97 FM. The frequencies have to match up. You cannot be on one frequency and receive something from another frequency. Law of attraction is making sure of that. But you can be aware of what your frequency is, and you can do something about it, and you can do some things in an easier way than you've been attempting. And the reason that we are speaking to you in this way is because we know that through life you've developed patterns of thought, you've developed beliefs, you've developed ways that you look at things. And some of them, a lot of them in fact, serve you very well. And some of them, a lot of them in fact, are not serving you very well. But you're all over the place with them because you have not been evaluating the content of your thought by its vibrational nature, by its point of attraction nature, by its relationship with your vortex nature, by its relationship with who you really are. You have not been evaluating. You've been evaluating it by the loudest squeaking wheel, or by the people who are up closest to you, or by the news media gets the most attention. You've been evaluating it in screwy ways. And we want to help you to understand that once you get hold of your understanding of what your emotions are about, and once you care about the frequency that you are broadcasting, because, you want to claim what you've put into your vortex. You want to claim what you've put there, because it is through life that you have created it. It's through life that you have expanded to that. It's through life that you have become that, and it's time for you to experience the fruits of your sifting and sorting experience. It really is. You'll have that experience when you croak. We love that word because it's so disrespectful of death, since there isn't any death. We love it when you croak, because when you croak, you claim that vortex. That's when you find full resonance with all that you've become. We just don't think you should have to croak to claim resonance with all that you've become. We think it's time for you to begin consciously experiencing it now.